Part 2, The Sovereign Standoff, and the Ember's Flight. The Ambush of the Ember /. The shadow in the corner. Hidden behind a heavy, gold-etched heat sink in the darkened corner of the hall, Sarah Jax held her breath. Her brassy mechanical arm hissed softly, a tiny plume of steam escaping a pressure valve. She felt the heat of the conversation rising, her silver eyes darting between the two titans. She watched the way Elias gripped his silver cross. To her, he wasn't just a variable, or a key. He was a man who spoke a language of rebellion she had only ever felt in her gut. "Steady, Sarah," she whispered to herself, her fingers tightening around the hilt of the Vanguard breaker. "Wait for the flicker. When the scholar realizes the king won't listen, that's when we drop the hammer." She saw Vane's hand begin to rise, a signal for the ether drones to descend. The tension in the room was a physical weight, a coiled spring ready to snap. Sarah's thumb found the ignition switch on her EMP wrench. The moment was coming. The bridge between the past and the future was about to burn, and she was the match. From the shadows of a massive brass heatsink, Sarah Jax acts. She slams her Vanguard breaker into a primary conduit. "Drop the light," she screams. A massive EMP pulse detonates. The solid light platform beneath Elias's boots shatters like glass. As he falls toward the power core, Sarah launches a magnetic tether from her steaming brass arm, catching him mid-air. The escape is a blur of kinetic chaos. They swing through the darkening sanctum as ether drones recover, firing streaks of violet plasma that melt the porcelain walls. Sarah and Elias crash through a ventilation grate, sliding miles down a trash chute of discarded circuitry, until they slam into the humid, mossy floor of the verdant sump.
The choice at the Great Spillway. Hours later, they stand on a rusted iron overlook where the Great Spillway, a titanic waterfall of recycled water, thunders into the azure depths. The air smells of wet earth and ozone. Elias stands at the railing, his armor dripping with spray, looking up through the shafts at the distant, glowing spires. Elias monologue: "Vane built a city of gold and porcelain, a monument to a past I once called home. It is grand, yes. It is perfect. But it is a lie. Vane has forgotten that the apex of humanity isn't found in our ability to eliminate error, but in our capacity to survive it." Sarah is messy. Her city is held together by spit, prayer, and salvaged copper. But look at her. She plants flowers in the exhaust vents. She names her tools. She feels the weight of every neural scar on her neck. In the Ironkin city, life is a steady hum. Here, in the sump, life is a heartbeat, irregular, frantic, and beautiful. Vane is a master of the machine, but Sarah is the master of the ghost inside the machine. If Aethelgard is to have a future that isn't a museum, it belongs to the woman who knows that you have to bleed to truly be alive. Vane's world is a tomb, Elias rumbles, his voice heavy with finality. He's right, we are noised in his signal. But I'd rather fight in the dirt with those who can still bleed than reign in a heaven built for statues. Sarah, her silver eyes reflecting the falls, lets out a fierce smile. Peace isn't a silent room, Elias. It's the right to make your own noise. The verdict, with the roar of the falls as his witness, the scholar officially joins the Ember. The great reformatting has a new enemy, and the heartbeat of the revolution has begun.